Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the glamorous, scandalous, and ever-dramatic world of Los Angeles fashion and family feuds. Today is a beautiful day to unpack some of the most explosive developments we have ever witnessed on our screens. So grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let us explore the latest shocking twists together. For decades, the Logan sisters have been the beating heart of the Los Angeles fashion dynasty, presenting a united front against the formidable Forester matriarchs and the treacherous waters of high society. Brooke, Katie, and Donna have weathered storms of infidelity, corporate espionage, and tragic losses by clinging to the fundamental belief that family must always come first. However, the recent corporate bloodbath at Forester Creations, spearheaded by Steffy Forester Finnegan's ruthless marginalization of the Hope for the Future line, has sent unprecedented shockwaves through this once unbreakable sisterhood. Hope Logan Spencer's radicalized determination to defect to Katie's newly minted Logan fashion house has not merely created a business rivalry. It has ignited a catastrophic emotional powder keg that threatens to reduce the Logan family legacy to absolute ashes. Hope's descent into a chillingly vindictive state of mind has been a horrifying spectacle to behold, particularly for those who have always viewed her as the moral compass of the family. Driven by a toxic cocktail of entitlement and a burning desire to punish her mother, Brooke, for prioritizing her marriage to Ridge over her daughter's career, Hope has embraced a dark, sinister persona. She is no longer the patient, understanding designer who champions the future. She is a deeply wounded, cornered animal willing to tear down anyone who stands in her path to creative control and revenge. Liam Spencer's relentless whispering in her ear, combined with Katie's strict, uncompromising ultimatum to sign the contract immediately, has pushed Hope to the absolute brink, blinding her to the devastating collateral damage her defection will inevitably cause. Watching this catastrophic train wreck unfold in slow motion is Donna Logan, the perennial peacemaker and the emotional glue that has miraculously held the Logan sisters together through their darkest hours. Donna has always been the sister who sacrifices her own peace of mind to mediate the bitter disputes between Brooke and Katie. When she confronted Hope, desperately begging her niece to reject Katie's job offer and preserve the family's fragile unity, Donna was met with a look of such chilling apathy and sinister resolve that it froze the blood in her veins. Donna realized in that horrifying moment that words were no longer sufficient. The toxic allure of power, revenge, and Liam's promises had completely deafened Hope to the desperate cries of her own family. Driven to the edge of absolute panic, Donna recognized that the survival of the Logan family required an intervention of desperate, unprecedented proportions. She knew that if Hope's signature touched that contract, the invisible tether binding Brooke and Katie would snap permanently, plunging the sisters into a multi-million-dollar corporate war for which they could never recover. In a moment of frantic, uncharacteristic rebellion, Donna made a fateful decision to cross a line she had never dared approach before. Her motivation was not malice, but a profound, suffocating terror, a desperate, clawing need to force a pause, to buy just enough time for the blinding anger intoxicating her family to finally dissipate before the damage became irreversible. The execution of Donna's desperate plan was a masterclass in quiet, agonizing tension. Slipping into the space where the finalized legal documents were being held, Donna's hands trembled violently as her eyes landed on the pristine, damning contract that would officially sever Hope from Forester Creations and bind her to Katie's brand. Every instinct in Donna's body screamed at her to walk away, to let the chips fall where they may, but the haunting image of her sisters tearing each other apart propelled her forward. With a heavy heart and a mind racing with terrifying justifications, Donna seized the contract, her breath catching in her throat as she folded the heavy parchment and secreted it away, effectively stealing the very instrument of her family's impending destruction. The physical act of destroying the contract was both a cathartic release and a terrifying point of no return for the Logan peacemaker. In the quiet solitude of her own space, Away from the prying eyes of the fashion world, Donna systematically tore the legal document into unrecognizable shreds. With every rip of the thick paper, she prayed that this drastic, illicit action would force a mandatory delay in the proceedings. She naively hoped that the logistical nightmare of drafting a new contract would provide a crucial cooling-off period, a brief window of opportunity where Brooke, Katie, and Hope might finally realize the catastrophic magnitude of the war they were about to wage against one another. It was an act of pure, misguided love, a final, desperate attempt to save her sisters from themselves. However, secrets of this magnitude are incredibly volatile, and the universe chose the most explosive possible setting for the truth to be violently unearthed. The grand reopening of Deacon Sharp's Bikini Bar was intended to be a night of joyous celebration, a vibrant gathering of Los Angeles' elite to toast a new beginning. The atmosphere was thick with pulsing music, clinking glasses, and the complicated interpersonal dramas of the attendees. Well, Spencer was utilizing the festive environment to make a desperate, heartfelt plea to Electra Forester, while the sinister Remy Price lurked in the shadows, his eyes burning with a vengeful hatred. Yet, the true storm of the evening was not brewing at the bar or in the shadowy corners, but within the ranks of the Logan women who had gathered under the neon lights. The festive illusion shattered the moment Hope discovered the inexplicable absence of her finalized contract. The realization did not dawn slowly. It struck with the violent force of a lightning bolt. Hope's already paranoid, radicalized mind immediately began piecing together the timeline, her sharp, vindictive intellect quickly zeroing in on the only person desperate enough and panicked enough to commit such an audacious act of sabotage. When Hope's piercing, furious gaze locked onto Donna across the crowded room, the vibrant energy of the Bikini Bar seemed to instantly evaporate, replaced by a suffocating, heavy silence that signaled the terrifying arrival of a Category 5 emotional hurricane. Hope did not seek a private corner to address her aunt. Her rage demanded a spectacular, devastating public stage. Marching across the room with the terrifying, unyielding momentum of a predator, Hope confronted Donna right in the middle of Deacon's party. The music seemed to fade into a dull hum as Hope's voice, dripping with venom and absolute contempt, sliced through the celebratory atmosphere. She did not merely accuse Donna of the theft. She verbally eviscerated her, exposing Donna's desperate, misguided act of love as a pathetic, criminal interference. Hope's words were calculated missiles, designed to inflict maximum humiliation, stripping Donna of her dignity in front of Los Angeles society. The public humiliation was absolute and excruciating to witness. Hope, fueled by her deeply entrenched sense of entitlement and her blinding fury at Forester Creations, projected all of her accumulated bitterness onto her aunt. She mocked Donna's lifelong role as the family mediator, sneering at her desperate attempts to play the hero while branding her a meddlesome, pathetic relic of a bygone era. Standing under the glaring lights of the bar, surrounded by the shocked whispers and staring eyes of the partygoers, Donna looked physically struck. Her eyes welled with tears of profound shock and devastating heartbreak as she absorbed the full, agonizing weight of her niece's unprecedented cruelty. The sheer brutality of Hope's public execution of Donna triggered an immediate, visceral reaction from Brooke Logan Forester. Horrified by the monster her daughter seemed to be morphing into, Brooke stepped directly into the line of fire, throwing her fiercely maternal protection around her devastated sister. Brooke's intervention was not merely a defense of Donna's actions, which she recognized were born of pure, panicked love, but a desperate attempt to rein in Hope's spiraling darkness. Brooke vehemently condemned Hope's public cruelty, reminding her daughter of the decades of selfless devotion and unwavering loyalty Donna had poured into their family, demanding that Hope show some semblance of respect for the woman who had always protected them. But the battlefield was not yet complete. Seeing Brooke aggressively confronting her newly acquired star designer, Katie Logan Spencer forcefully inserted herself into the fray, instantly transforming the conflict into a full-scale, three-way war among the Logan sisters. Katie, fiercely protective of her new business asset and harboring 20 years of deeply unresolved resentment toward Brooke over Bill Spencer, vehemently defended Hope. Katie loudly justified Hope's outrage, framing Donna's desperate act not as a plea for family unity, but as a treacherous, unforgivable sabotage of Katie's business and Hope's future. The historical wounds between Brooke and Katie ripped wide open, bleeding out onto the floor of the bikini bar as they screamed at one another. The scene devolved into an unprecedented, terrifying spectacle of familial destruction. The three Logan sisters, alongside a radicalized Hope, engaged in a bitter, screaming match that laid bare decades of buried jealousies, corporate betrayals, and deep-seated insecurities. Brooke fought fiercely to defend the sanctity of their sisterhood and Donna's pure intentions, while Katie ruthlessly prioritized her corporate ambition and her long-standing grievances against her older sister. Hope stood by, her chilling demeanor fully intact, watching the very family Donna had sacrificed her soul to protect tear itself to absolute, irreparable shreds over a piece of paper and a wounded ego. The legacy of the Logan women was fracturing beyond repair in real time. Amidst the deafening roar of her sister's bitter accusations and Hope's lingering, contemptuous glares, a profound and devastating silence fell over Donna's internal world. As she looked at the furious faces of the women she loved more than life itself, a heartbreaking epiphany washed over her. She realized, with a crushing, agonizing clarity, that her lifelong devotion, her endless sacrifices, and her desperate attempts to be the peacemaker had earned her absolutely nothing but profound contempt. Her family did not value her love. They viewed her desperate interventions as pathetic annoyances. The glue that had held the Logans together had finally lost its strength, not because it failed, but because the pieces no longer wished to be joined. In that shattering moment of clarity, Donna Logan made the most difficult, yet liberating decision of her entire life. Wiping the tears from her face, she slowly backed away from the screaming match, her presence no longer required in a war she could not stop. The pain of their rejection was a suffocating weight, but beneath it, a tiny spark of self-preservation finally ignited. Donna realized that to stay in this toxic, warring environment was to sentence herself to a lifetime of unappreciated misery. Without a word of goodbye to the sisters who were too consumed by their own rage to notice her retreat, Donna turned her back on the party, the fashion world, and the shattered remnants of the Logan family. She walked out into the Los Angeles night, leaving everything behind, finally ready to seek out a life, a peace,